an exclusive influencer party. It's like I've been calling it something privately that I can't call it publicly that I'll have to tell you off the pod.
Okay. Ryan, cut this out.
I want to say, yeah, Ryan, bleep it. Ryan, bleep it. I've been calling it the.
I wish you had told me that.
Hey, you ready to go to the party with me? It's just going to be a bunch of sycophants and influencers, and it's going to be weird, but I think we'll have fun. Welcome to The Crunch, the only podcast that has to record at 2x speed. It's your boy, Ethan.
And I'm Patrick. Yeah, we're going to record this super fast, and then you guys have to slow it down.
And then you have to slow it down. You can use the 0.25 speed, finally, for some reason, on the Spotify podcast player. Who in their right minds slows down? Because then they're talking like this, and it's even more infuriating than listening to it at 1x speed.
My Spotify, I must have accidentally kicked it, slipped a little bit, and it went to 0.9, and that was uncanny valley. Wasn't enough.
That is weird.
It wasn't enough.
It's like when you're drunk.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, this guy's talking really slow. I was needing to speed this up, but it wasn't. It was his fault, not mine.
Yeah. My name's Ethan. This is Patrick. We do a comedy podcast for Catholics because we think more people should have regular, normal, fun conversations about Catholicism and just their lives in general. And everyone is weird, and they need to stop being weird now. And we need to pause to get rid of that. Call in the stylist.
What's happening?
Can we get hair and makeup in
First
here,
of all,
please?
How did that happen? How do I get that to happen with a lot of it, like all the time? Because that kind of looked sick. You know, how do
you want to have like a emo?
Yeah, I want to have a little strand. For those of you on the audio. First of all, audio listeners, I love you. I had a little strand of hair coming down, and it looked like I had done it on purpose, but I did not. Anyway, yes, welcome to The Crunch. I'm Patrick, and that's Ethan. We are not recording at our normal time, and so
we're not recording at our normal time. We're in kind of a crunch, if you will, for time.
That's the name of the podcast.
Here's the problem with recording a podcast: is that sometimes your kid takes an hour and a half to put to sleep, and your wife is pregnant. And you just can't record the podcast at your normal recording time. So you have to record it the following morning, and you have to record 2 episodes because your audience needs slop. Because you just need more slop in the bucket for your ears.
I pray for you guys all the time because I know how hard it must be. I don't know how hard it is. Leo is we got so lucky. We're not going to get lucky with this next one.
No, I think it's just it's probably something with me. I probably gave my kid fluoride or something too early.
Ow.
And I put red dye. I shouldn't have put red dye in his formula.
Yeah,
when he was young.
Putting red 40 in his.
Yeah. I thought that the Kool-Aid man was our friend.
Have you seen that video that's wrong. Have you seen that video that's 2 frat guys sit down 2 vodka Red Bulls, please? And the bartender goes, "How about 1 million beers?" And they go, "Yeah, we'll have 1 million beers instead."
That's a funny video. I like that.
It's sorry, why are you ordering a vodka Red Bull? It said you should get 1 million beers.
Yes. Can I talk about something that you'll understand?
Yeah, sure. About how we're going to be at the Eucharistic Congress next week?
I don't care about that. We'll talk about that later. Last night we have some friends staying with us for a wedding this weekend, and they're very good friends of ours. They used to live here, but now they live in Colorado, and so it's good to have them visit. And they're friends with us, and they're friends with our neighbors. And we were all kind of hanging out and talking last night, and the conversation came up. At one point, me and Emma and our neighbors Chet and Ray were all hanging out, and Ray asked me. She said, "Ethan, besides you, obviously, who do you think is the funniest between the 4 of us?" Which was the other 3 remaining people. Which is such a trap because none of them. So I said,
"You're all
So
tied."
I'm a day one, right? So I'm obviously Emma's first place,
obviously,
because I ride or die for my wife. And then I said probably then Chet, and then I said Ray. And she's like, that's fair.
Sucks.
She doesn't care, right? And then it came back up last night about how that conversation went. She goes, yeah. I was like, what did I say? She goes, yeah, you said that I was last place. And I was like, well, what do you want me to say? She looked me in the eyes and said, I just think you're surrounded by a bunch of unfunny people, and that's really hard for you. And I was like, you're right. Like, I don't think I've ever heard something more true about myself, is that the hardest part of my life, including the sleeping, working, paying off my ungodly mortgage rate, all of that is superseded by the fact that I am a funny guy surrounded by a bunch of unfunny people.
It is hard.
And there's no one that will go down. Sometimes you're like, oh, I'm going to go down this little comedy side path. Like we're all on the main path here. We're all walking towards the grocery store. Oh, I found a little, let's go down here. Let's go into the forest and see what we can wrestle up. Nobody comes with me down the comedy path. No. And so I'm just alone in a forest, dying. And everybody else is like, oh, we got chips. It sucks. Do you have this?
I do not. I don't. Because it's not that I'm not surrounded by funny people. It's that I am less, I'm not that funny. And so I am actually.
No, that's not true. You are a funny person.
I am usually not like, oh, wow, no one else is being funny. This sucks. I will say, I think
when you say it like that, you make me sound like a psychopath.
No, I think my thing is like I'm used to it, and like I am just I rest in I'm the one who gets to cook. Like my in-laws are over, and I was just like, I came home and I was like tired, and then like 2 minutes in, I was like, I was doing I had a really I had a bit. I did a bit that I did on the podcast about how I think that we should either never try presidents for their crimes, like presidents get immunity for life, or we should try every president for their crimes,
all of them,
including the dead ones. We should dig them up and then put them on trial.
It's kind of like Mormon justice.
Yeah.
You know how the Mormons baptize the dead?
Oh, yes. Okay, I thought you were trying to do like a Texas justice thing. It's like, Utah justice.
No, Mormon justice, when they put the dead on trial for not, dancing to TikTok trends and drinking soda.
Sure, you're tried for multiple crimes, and you also get to have multiple.
You lose your planet if you're found guilty.
But yes, so I had that bit going, and that one was great. Doing a bunch of I was having a great time. I'm okay with being the only funny guy in the room, because then I get to be the center of attention. I don't think you like to be the center of attention.
I think I do. I don't know.
Maybe you do.
I don't know. I don't mind being the center of attention if it's right and just, but I feel uncomfortable when it's too much with the attention.
Oh yeah.
Like I want to spread it around, which is why it's nice doing this podcast with you, because it's fun for me to set you up to knock them out of the park.
And I love to knock it out of the park. Oh yeah.
And you do knock it out of the park so often, at least 2 or 3 times out of 10. And so it's good to be with you.
It's major league.
I know, that's true. 30%. Not bad.
Not bad.
But is that wrong of me? Is that wrong of me to be like, I'm the only funny person here and all the rest of you are not funny? Sometimes it just means that I'm bored at social gatherings.
I think you just need to play off people.
I try, but they're all like, oh, have you seen the new AI chatbot that came out? I hear it's got features that certainly threaten not only our democracy, but also our workforce.
We went into like the Trump-Biden debate in a conversation last night, and I was like, I need to turn this into a bit. No, I didn't do my Trump impression. Yeah. I don't have a good one.
Okay, that's an easy one to get out of those.
Impression.
Yeah.
I do think. Have you ever seen me and Teresa Bova hang out together? Phoebe would hate it because we would
probably. I think I did once because I hung out in the dorms with you and Teresa and Phoebe that one time.
Yeah.
When it was a room with pillows, That's all I remember.
Yes, it was the
and it was dark.
it was the it was a common room. Yeah.
It was a dark room. There were pillows and there were beads hanging from the ceiling, and there was a lava lamp and some very interesting music being played.
And some kind of funny smelling smoke that made me feel weird.
Funny smell. And so people kept offering me lotion, and I was like, I don't want that.
Want lotion.
Why are you doing that?
I don't want lotion. It's weird. But no, there are these common rooms in Franciscan, because in Franciscan you can't hang out in the dorm room. You can't hang out in the dorm, like the bedroom of the opposite gender. So you go in the common rooms. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
because of segs.
And the what's it called? Oh yeah, Teresa and I would hang out, and we would just have these inside jokes. And because we had so much context, we would be able to make jokes without saying them out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would kind of we would go 4 or 5 or 10 steps beyond what everyone else in the room. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem with having too many funny people in the room. Is it's not fun for the not funny people.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you and me are like, we have so much context. If you and I are sitting down and we're making jokes, and I don't even tell you, just like, oh, the 7 things, like, oh, we make a joke about the 7 things, and then I know what that is, and you know what that is, but the audience doesn't, and they're like, oh, that's not funny. And so that's the problem with this podcast sometimes, I think, is that we don't give enough context for the jokes we're making.
We need to be more. I saw something.
Speaking of the 7 things, other day. I do want to do this bit.
Oh, sure. Let's go ahead. Pull out your notes app.
The Catholic Talk Show is doing. I'm so sorry that I was probably bothering you. The Catholic Talk Show.
You were.
This is the problem with being able to text on the Mac, is I can type really fast, and so
Patrick just thinks of your texting style. We need to have a discussion about it, because
I'm sorry.
Because you'll text me things. For example, the other day, we need business cards for the Congress.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that sounds like.
So then I just responded, okay. Like, I agree. Do you want me to make the business cards? Are you gonna, like, do you need anything from me? Like, are you? It's just, you just give me. And then at the other time, you were like, I learned that my subscription is cheaper. Like, you just say the thing that is on your mind to me, because it's there.
It's there. It's right in my head.
And that's fine. I love you and I love talking to you. So this doesn't bother me in like a deep sense.
Good.
But for like a surface level, and I'm like, just like, what are you doing? Get out of my inbox. I'm working. Papa's busy.
Oh man.
And he's I need a
higher threshold for what is. I need to tell Ethan about this.
You actually, everyone in my life needs a higher threshold for the things that they tell me. Emma will be like, I found this chair that I'm never going to buy. What do you think?
Oh man. So
the Catholic Talk Show, go through your thing.
The Catholic Talk Show is doing a podcast at the Eucharistic Congress. They're doing a podcast called The 7 Things You Didn't Know About the Eucharist. Okay.
Yes.
Because they have these like BuzzFeed-esque like number titles for their podcast.
For each one that you get right.
Yes, for each one that I get right, I am going to take a shot.
You have to take a shot at the pillar party on Thursday night.
Yes.
So if you get all 7 right, you get to throw up on JD.
I don't think we're going to the pillar party, but
we're not.
Yeah.
Are we going to the
other party? Yeah. So the 7 things I think
there's another cooler party that we get to go to.
I already texted you 4 of these, but I came up with the other 5. So here are the 7 things I think this is the 7 things, and if I'm right, I get a prize. They're gonna do the source, and they're just gonna say one of the things is gonna be the Eucharist is the source and summit of our faith. That's gonna be the first thing they say. And then they're also gonna say body, blood, soul, and divinity. That's gonna be 2 of the 7 things. I guarantee it. Third, they're going to talk about one of the Eucharistic miracles, probably the one that I'm betting is the one where the priest doubted and it turned into Jesus. Number 4 is Blessed Carlo Aquinas' website. They're going to talk about that. 5 is going to be that Thomas Aquinas consecrating the Eucharist on Holy Saturday. That's a Thomas Aquinas thing. They're probably going to mention that. I won't go into it. 6, Eucharist in space. Obvious. And then 7 is that the Mass has been said on every continent, including Antarctica. Those are the 7 things that are my prediction. And if I'm right, you have to become a patron at patreon.com/thecrunch.
If you go 7 for 7, I will. I'll do something. Either if we go 7 for 7, and Mark Wahlberg is at the party that we're going to,
Oh,
then I will
that'd be.
I will run up on him and get myself arrested by his security.
I will shake his hand and be like, I loved you in that movie with Kevin Hart where you showed your ass. That's what
I
I'll
loved
say.
you in Ted. I loved you in Ted 2. I loved you as the executive producer of Ted the TV show. I loved you.
I loved you
Dude,
in.
if he's actually there, it'll be
should
so
go up
hard
to
for
him
me.
and be like-
If you go 7 for 7, I'll be like, there's a lot of blood in that cockpit, huh? Be like, thank you. Be like, thank you, Mark, for stopping 9/11.
This is the alternate. No, you should go up and say thank you for. I loved you in Ted. I loved you in Ted 2. I loved you as executive producer of Ted the TV show, and I will say I loved you in Blue Bloods
Nice.
because that's
Because
not
he
him.
wasn't in Blue Bloods.
It was his brother. They
Yeah.
look so
I loved you in
similar.
Ocean's 11. I loved you in Ocean's 12. I loved you in Ocean's 13.
He wasn't in those, was he?
It's all, no, he wasn't. Matt Damon was.
You should confuse him with Matt Damon. That'd be funny.
Yeah. I didn't know you were Catholic. I mean, Jason Bourne is Catholic. That's awesome. That's so cool. He probably gets that all the time. I was actually legitimately thinking about this the other day. Like, there's no bit you can run on a celebrity that hasn't been run on them already.
Yeah, it's not.
Because they have so many interactions with people that it's impossible to get them with anything. So it's like, I saw this video the other day of this guy who draws celebrities, and he was handing them to people like Post Malone and Ed Sheeran and all these people, and those guys were like nice. They're like, oh, thank you, this is awesome. Like, they were really, because it was a pretty good drawing,
Mm-hmm.
And he hands it to Robert De Niro, and Robert De Niro just goes, thank you, and it just like moves on. And it's like, do you know how many people have drawn Robert De Niro and handed him a picture of himself?
He's
like,
so famous, and he's been so famous for so long.
For so long,
Yeah.
It's like this. I feel the same about Mark Wahlberg, and especially with the Catholic thing. There's probably nothing that I could say other than maybe like, I doubt anyone's gonna bring up the 9/11 blood in the cockpit thing.
I bet
Eucharistic
people
Congress.
have. Are you kidding me?
At the Eucharistic Congress?
Oh, at the Eucharistic Congress.
Yeah.
Can you say like, hey, if you had been on that plane, would you have stopped Traditionis Custode? No one's probably said that.
Yeah. What would you do if you were locked in a room with Mario Rupnik? How would you take care of him?
How would you take care of him? A lot of blood in that cockpit.
Do you think I should be like, do you know Jeremy Fragrance? Have you seen this video of Jeremy Fragrance?
That's probably something he's never been asked. Hey, do you know Jeremy
Yeah.
Fragrance? Oh,
You know
brother.
Jeremy Fragrance? He did this video about, I like to do it. I don't know.
You say all you say when you meet a celebrity is it's nice to meet you. I'm Patrick. That's what you just say.
It's nice to meet you. Have you seen Dracula Flow 5? Do you want to come to my hotel room and watch it with me on the TV?
I'm throwing a party later. Can I tell everyone you're gonna be there?
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Hi, Mark Wahlberg. The Zaza got me connecting the dots.
They be calling me.
I don't think we can do that.
Oh,
He's
man.
probably short in real life. He's probably only like 5'2".
He's probably only 5'2". I think it would be really cool to meet Mark Wahlberg. I think that I would be happy to meet Mark Wahlberg, and then I would be 1 degree closer to meeting Donnie Wahlberg, the person that I really want to meet.
You really want to meet?
I really want to meet Donnie Wahlberg.
If I meet Mark Wahlberg, my parents love your restaurant is probably what I would say. Genuinely.
Yeah, I bet. Do they really love Wahlburgers?
They talk about it more than once a quarter, which to me is like
that would be a good thing to say. Like, my parents talk about that. That's how I introduced myself to Patricia Heaton through the DMs. I was like, my mom would want me to tell
talks
you
about your restaurant.
My mom would want me to tell you that her in-laws are Frank and Marie Barone. That's what my mom would want me to tell you if I told her that I met you. So I'm going to tell her that, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, good luck."
I don't know what that means.
From Everybody Loves Raymond.
From a fictional show.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
My grandma and my grandpa, when they were younger, were the grandparents from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Really?
My grandma's mellowed out, obviously, and my grandfather has since passed, but he was kind of mellowed out when they were younger, and like they were coming over, doing pushing boundaries with us, it's like and so my mom always felt a kinship with Patricia Heaton. I was like, Patricia Heaton, you're
Sure,
kind of like my mom.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
We could go up to Mark Wahlberg and be like, Deborah.
I loved you and everybody loves Raymond. Players
just bothering Mark Wahlberg. I don't think he's going to show up to the party that we've potentially been invited to. I don't know.
We haven't even been invited to it yet.
We haven't been invited. Katie Ruby said that we are invited, which typically means that it's going to happen.
Yes.
But we'll see. There's like an exclusive influencer party. It's like I've been calling it something privately that I can't call it publicly that I'll have to tell you off the pod.
Okay. Ryan, cut this out.
I want to say, Ryan, bleep it. Ryan, bleep it. I've been calling it the.
I wish you had told me that.
Hey, you ready to go to the party with me? It's just going to be a bunch of sycophants and influencers, and it's going to be weird. But I think we'll have fun.
We need to go to it together and just kind of stick together.
We'll stick together, and I think my dream...
Go ahead.
I'm going to make the most of whatever party we find ourselves at. I want to make connections. I want to embarrass myself. I want to make a name for us using my and my vim.
We gotta dress is what we gotta do. We gotta bring the heat. I'm wearing my jacket.
What does that mean?
I'm bringing the jacket.
Oh, you're wearing your jacket?
Oh yeah.
I wasn't planning on wearing business clothing. Should I be wearing business clothing? I was gonna wear this probably. What I'm wearing right now.
Okay.
I had the shorts on.
I'm gonna bring business casual. I'm gonna bring business casual just in case.
In case of what? There's an emergency lunch and learn that you have to go to.
No, I'm gonna bring. I think people are gonna show up business casual for these. I think people are gonna show up at least like somewhat fancy for these evening parties.
The evening parties is a different look. It's so easy to be a woman because when you're a lady and it's an evening party, you can strike that balance of like, I'm dressing up, but it's not business clothes. With a guy, it's either like, I'm going to wear a polo. It's like polo and shorts, polo and pants, button down shirt and shorts, button down shirt and pants, and then button down shirt and pants with jacket are your options.
Mm-hmm.
And
if you guess wrong, you look like an idiot.
You look so stupid.
Yeah.
Because if everyone else is doing polo shirt and shorts and you're in shoes, I couldn't say
suit and tie.
I had a malfunction. Whoa, that must be what Alzheimer's feels like. What I just went through. I just got like a small. I just could not. I just had my first Joe Biden moment.
Oh, poor guy.
If you're wearing suit, shirt, and pants, and everyone else is polo and shorts, it's over for you. You might as well just go home.
Did you
There's no resurrecting.
Did you see that video of Joe Biden accidentally calling Zelensky President Putin?
Putin, yeah.
That
and calling Harris Vice President Trump. Did you see that?
Oh, you got it. He just needs to sit on a porch.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump if I didn't think she could be Vice President. But I don't think she can be president. This is what he said. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, they you know what they did? They took him off the drip. They took him off the drugs.
They did.
They stopped.
They did. They revoked because of due to your suboptimal performance at the debate. We've put you on a PIP, and we're taking away your supply of drugs.
Gosh. I just got out of a cold shower, and boy, are my arms tired.
I just got out of prison. And I need something to get my spiritual life back on track.
Speaking of prison, thank you to Exodus 90 for sponsoring this episode of our podcast. If you've done Exodus 90, you might have felt like you were in a prison of not being able to watch television. But Exodus 90 is more than sacrifices and cold showers and asceticism.
Yes.
Exodus 90 has an app of reflection and prayer for you to use throughout the year
Yes.
that you might not be aware of. It's at exodus90.com/thecrunch. Say that first, but then you can talk.
No, exodus90.com/thecrunch is the place to go. Instead of being, in jail, not having snacks because I didn't have enough money in my commissary, I am now not eating snacks because of Exodus 90. Exodus90.com/crunch is the place to be. And this month, they're doing a special course in anticipation of the National Eucharistic Congress, special course on the Eucharist that you can get. If you go to exodus90.com/crunch, you get 14-day free trial, and you can go deeper as we as a nation prepare for the National Eucharistic Congress. It's a big ticket item, but Exodus 90 has got some really, really great stuff on there about the Eucharist that you're going to want to see. Exodus90.com/thecrunch for the 14-day trial. Patrick, you've been liking what they've been doing.
I've been liking what they put out. I knew about this app a while ago before they sponsored the podcast. I used it when I did Exodus 90, and I can highly recommend it. So exodus90.com/thecrunch, 14-day free trial. Thank you, Exodus 90, for sponsoring this episode of The Crunch.
Do it now, or else my prison sentence was in vain. Patrick, you're always talking about how you're reading books.
I'm protesting. I'm not reading books anymore.
You're not reading books anymore?
No, you need to convince me to read a book. I don't want to read books anymore.
I need to convince my friends to read a book.
I want to. Yeah, I don't want to read books anymore. I want to watch television and sit on the couch.
I'm going to use pathos here and appeal to your emotions because you're my friend. Yes. Today, I started reading Alec Molly's Out of Sons, a wonderful fictional tale about two brothers that go on a journey to rekindle some love, maybe have an adventure, maybe find out what brotherhood is actually about. I was reading it, first of all, because the author's a friend of mine. He sponsors the show. But then as I got about 20 pages into it, I was like, hold on a minute. My guy, who's a friend of mine from college, actually wrote a pretty compelling book.
Dang.
I know. I was like, shoot, this is good. He gets a lot of stuff right about what it's like to be a guy, about what it's like to be growing up in a world where a desk job feels like the only choice, or if you're not doing that, then you're basically working as a lawn care person for the rest of your life. Like these two young men that are just wrestling with like, how do I live my life? How do I not let down my dad? How do I be a good person whenever it's so easy to not be a good person? I really think you'd like the book, and I think you should read it.
Well, I'm convinced. I know I'm doing like a bit, but every time you talk about, for some reason, Alec, the book is not getting to my house. Please send. You're torturing me. I'm hearing about this book, and I'm like, honestly, I'm just gonna go buy it. That's actually, I've decided I'm just gonna buy it because first of all, it's I'm telling everyone else to do it, so I should probably do it myself. But yeah, I'm gonna go buy this book. You should all do it too. Out of Sons by Alec Molly. It is out on Amazon now. Go check it out.
I read half of the book in one sitting today.
Wow, so is that good?
I'm not joking. So everybody, get the book, read it. Out of Sons by Alec Molly. Get it on Amazon. Link is in the bio. Patrick, you know what I hate?
More than the Cubs?
I do hate the Cubs, but I famously, my number one enemy, I hate big tech. And I don't like how they've gotten their little grubby fingers into every single aspect of digital life. And that's why The Crunch, our website, is now proudly hosted on Patmos. Patmos is your island of refuge from big tech, and they provide top-notch web and app development services, hosting, AI, GPU services, and they're all backed by a no censorship guarantee. And Patrick, I know you like that because I know you say some crazy stuff, man.
I do say some crazy things. We just recently transferred our web hosting over to Patmos. It was easy. It was seamless. The pricing was competitive. And also I feel secure that I can post what I want on my website. And all of a sudden people won't decide, oh, that's bad, and I'm going to cancel this guy. The
reason that Patmos is so good, the reason that they're so good is because they have the best prices, and they own the data center all the way up to the top of the stack. So all the way down to the dirt, they own all the metal between you and your data, where it's stored on a hard drive somewhere. Like they own all of it, so they can give you the greatest prices. And they can actually guarantee that they're going to provide the service that they say. We actually have a personal representative. Her name's Camilla, and she helps us out. She is someone that we can call if we have any issues. And they don't ever do anything offshore. So anytime we're working with them, we don't have to call and like be on hold or like it's a call center in another country. It's great. They're really, really wonderful people.
So if you want to like build an app or a website, or you want to host your current site, like you already have one, you can reach out to Patmos at patmos.tech, an easy URL to remember, patmos.tech. They help businesses and missions of all sizes achieve their goals in a safe and secure way, whether you want to build an e-commerce site or a megawatt large language learning model in the Patmos data center. Holy cow. Patmos can help you. Tell them the Crunch sent you and get 10% off your next web project or free hosting migration. That's patmos.tech. Patmos, freedom as a service.
And I also hear that if you are a Crunch listener and you tell them that you are out there looking for a job in the data or computer programming world, they can hook you up. So mention our name, and maybe we could get you a job. Maybe we can get you 10% off on your next web project or your hosting migration. That's Patmos at patmos.tech. Thank you. Back to the episode.
He's gonna be he's gonna be unwell within the year.
He is unwell. I really like the Tim Dillon podcast, which he's a comedian and he's very explicit. So if those things bother you, and I like him because he was on Tucker Carlson recently, but he's also like still pretty liberal, you know?
Oh yeah.
But he's not I don't know. He's not liberal in the same way that like a Mark Normand is liberal. You know, I don't know how much you know about comedians and their stances on things, but like he's more critical of like class issues, which I really like. Like he's like, the problem with this country is that there are rich women who fund things that they don't understand, and they do it because they want to have enough wine at their next party and they want to keep the pool running. And like, those are the swing voters in our country. They don't know anything. And like, he gets very upset about these things because he's more angry about incompetent people having power than he is about left or right, which is great. But he was talking about the Biden family and about how he knows people who live in the Hamptons and like go to the fundraisers, you know, for the Biden family. And so he's hearing firsthand like what's happening at the Biden fundraisers. And it's just like a bunch of sweaty billionaires like listening to Jill like try to hype him up, and they're like, we don't really have another option, and they all really want him to step down, but he's not going to. And because the Biden family, like if Joe steps down, that's it for the Biden family, you know, like that's the end of their political legacy. And it ends in like a burning trash pile of like the president who couldn't make it through his first term, you know. It's like
the president who got too old.
Right.
Yeah.
In terms of like comparing your family to, or, you know, because he's been in politics for so long, you know, and he's wanted to be the president for so long. And so I think it just is like it's a brain break moment for them. Like their whole identity is wrapped up in our dad is the president, my husband is the president, my brother is the president, whatever. So if that were to go away, they just
like he didn't even finish. Yeah, he's not gonna.
Right. I don't think they could handle it. But everybody wants them down. Everybody wants something else. But they've put in so much money that they're like, can we get it back?
Yeah.
You know, like if you step down, do we get our money back from the campaign?
That's why That's why I think they want Kamala to run, because then they can redirect the funds to her. Because I'm pretty sure that's how campaigns work. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that.
There's so many. I mean, I don't think anything matters when you're a billionaire and you're giving money to politicians.
No.
Like, what are they going to do? Prosecute you? No, probably not. Anyway, I recommend listening to it's a very insightful and funny podcast episode. The most recent. It probably by the time this comes out, it's maybe 2 Tim Dillon show episodes ago, but he's got some good insider info on the conversations that are happening amongst high-ranking Democratic elites. And it's about as bad as you'd expect.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to go to high-ranking Catholic parties this week, where instead of billions of dollars, people are passing thousands of dollars. Big high rollers giving $2,000 donations to EWTN.
I mean, I think people give more than that.
I know they do.
To EWTN, for sure.
For sure, yeah.
There's a lot of money that rolls around at these things.
Oh yeah.
I think if you if you find yourself in the correct room, you will be in the 7-figure check writer room. But I don't know if we have access to that room.
I don't. I feel like we could stumble our way into there if we're dressed well.
If we're dressed well and if we're hanging out with the right people, aka Katie Ruvalcaba.
Yes, and I do think that I'm a very good networker. That is something that I'm good at. It's something that I'm good at, and it is usually hard to network in a room full of sycophantic types. This is why I don't go to Chamber of Commerce events.
I've been to one of those. It was miserable.
Yeah, they're tough, and it's because everyone has their groups, and they're just kind of hanging out with their group, and you can't really.
I hate when people hand you a business card before you've talked to them.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah,
it's miserable. Like you walk up, you're like, "Hi," and they're like, "Let me get you a card real quick," and I'm like, "I don't even know who you are or what you do. Can you tell me your name before you start handing? Don't hand me things." Goodness, that's like a. I don't know if you have a gun in there. You're making me uneasy.
It's a rookie mistake. Yeah,
I don't like it. It is a rookie mistake.
But yeah, I do love networking. I'm excited to do a lot of that this week. I think we need to bring merchandise. We need to.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to source that.
We should print stickers. And then set up our Square so that we have a payment processor. But you can take payments via tap now. You just tap your card on my phone. Oh yeah.
Nice. That's easy.
I know, right?
I didn't know you could do that.
I think so. I think maybe you have to get a Square thing. I don't know.
Oh. Either way. I think it'll be good to be at the Congress. I do think that Katie Ruvi is the EWTN Golden Boy at the moment. So if we're with her, we might get a ticket in to many, many places. And John, obviously, John's just the type of guy that John is like you, but like bigger, and so which means he can get more because he's like a more imposing physically. People underestimate this. I feel sometimes like I feel like I'm pretty good. I'm just as good at networking as you, and I can talk to people and all these things. But I feel like because I'm a smaller guy, that I don't make it as far.
You're also not as loud
as some other people. Yeah,
you're not as loud.
Should I be more loud?
My friends were once hanging out in like a store, and they knew they heard the door open, and they just knew I had entered the store.
Knew you were there
because I you
have your own WWE entrance.
It's just Tiptoe Through the Tulips. It's kind of creepy.
Oh no, that is creepy.
I have a walk-up song. What would you if you were an MLB player? What would be your walk-on song?
Tarzan Boy by Baltimore.
I would
I knock that ball out of the park.
What would I do? What would my walk-up song be? I don't even know.
You don't know? It probably would be something by Taylor Swift, if we're being honest.
Incorrect. Yes, it would be Teardrops on My Guitar by Taylor Swift.
It would be my walk-up song would be the Miss Rachel Phonics song.
My walk-up song would be
12 hours brown noise.
More moles by Caspar Baby Pants.
Oh no.
You on that Caspar Baby Pants grind?
We're not on Caspar Baby Pants, and I don't know if you should be either.
Honestly, Caspar he is funny. It's like
he's funny.
He's funny.
Is he like a baby comedian?
Yeah, he's like a little baby comedian. Yeah.
Dude, what a great job.
Leo loves his songs, and he does little like these silly songs about like bananas, singing a song about how they can be turned into banana bread. Please don't throw us away. It's cute,
That's like an existential
and like a hit. Yeah, but Phoebe loves it because it's like, we're not pretty, but we're not dead. We could be banana bread. It's cute. It's fun.
That is cute.
Yeah.
Huh. Songs for parents, but also for children.
Yeah. I'm not pretty, but I'm not dead. So.
Joe Biden.
He is dead. He might as well.
We should bake Joe Biden into a loaf of banana bread. And I'm saying that as a joke for the FBI listening to this. I do not want. Did you know it's illegal to say that you want to or are going to unalive the president of the United States?
Well, I mean, yeah, that sounds fair.
It's like a federal crime to say it. I don't know if it's a federal crime to say I'm going to bake Joe Biden into a loaf of bread, but I'm banking on the fact that it's not.
Joe Biden is so old that if he was a banana, he could not be banana bread.
Yeah.
He's that old.
Oh, he's just like a brown, wrinkly.
Mm-hmm. You could not turn him into banana bread.
You couldn't even, not even if you froze him.
No,
in
not
the
even if you
freezer?
froze him. Not at all.
You ever see those bananas in the freezer that have been in there for a long time? You're like, Mom, are you ever gonna make banana bread with this? And she's like, Oh yeah, but those bananas have been in there since 2003. She's not making banana bread.
She ain't making banana bread. Throw the bananas away.
Bread.
I've never put bananas in the freezer.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe I should.
My mom would do that. She would buy bananas. Nobody would eat them because they're stringy and weird and a disgusting fruit for apes. And they would get brown on the counter, and she would pop them in the freezer. And we just had like a whole banana section in the freezer.
Because she's like, I'm going to make banana bread.
She's like, I'm going to make banana bread. And then it would...
No, you got to just make the banana bread. It takes like doesn't take very long. You just got to do it. And you got to put dark chocolate chips in there. It's hot. It's great. You don't put chocolate chips in banana bread?
I would never ruin banana bread by putting chocolate chips in it.
Yeah, chocolate, famously something that ruins bananas.
It does ruin banana bread.
How so?
I will say.
This is ridiculous.
It makes it taste worse.
How does it make it taste worse? It's chocolate.
It's my new song called Let's Make It Taste Worse.
It's
chocolate, but it's unnecessary chocolate.
How is it unnecessary?
It doesn't belong there. Let me have my fruit bread in peace, chocolate. You have your time. Go be in a cookie.
You just want bread?
Yes.
It's a dessert.
Banana bread.
It's a dessert.
No. You're smoking weed. You're smoking weed. Banana bread is for breakfast.
This is strange. I've always had chocolate.
Sound off in the comments below. Is banana bread a dessert that needs chocolate or a breakfast food that is fine to eat without chocolate?
It is certainly not a breakfast food. But also, you can have chocolate in a breakfast food.
You've never had... I know you can, but...
I've had banana bread at Bob
banana
Evans
bread
for breakfast, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I usually eat the biscuits at breakfast. I usually have the banana bread at lunchtime and the dinner rolls at dinner. When I eat at Bob Evans 3 times a day, which sometimes happens.
Yeah.
Not recently.
What do you, we should probably do a Catholic thing here on our...
Oh, yeah. Right.
Are you excited about the Eucharistic Congress? What do you think?
I am excited about the Eucharistic
outside
Congress.
of like the networking things and like the party stuff that we're going to do. Like do you have any like spiritual goals?
I have no spiritual goals for the conference. I don't really, I'm excited. I was like, you know what? Ethan and I, we should go to an evening session together. It's been a long time.
Sure.
You know,
we hold hands.
Yeah, we should go to. You and I have not prayed together in a very long time. I think, outside of like going to mass and sitting next to one another, and so I think we should do an evening session together. I think that'd be good. I'm excited. I saw the line. I mean, it's going to be like 40,000 people, right?
That's what they're saying.
They said it was going to be 80, but that didn't happen.
No, I think they realized how difficult it is to get 80,000 people in one place.
Yeah,
for $1,000 a week plus hotel.
Yeah.
You know, the middle class is shrinking.
We kind of lucked
out.
But
we did luck out. A woman texted me today and she's like, "How many day passes do you need for the Congress?" And I was like, 2. And she's like, "Oh, okay, I'll just get those for you and Patrick." And I was like, "Great." I didn't know who she was.
I was Alyssa.
She's texting me like, like, what days do you need? And I was like, I need these days. Patrick needs these days. She's like, got it. I'm like, cool. Yeah. Please don't send me a bill. If you do, I'll lose it.
Yeah. I got Wednesday through Saturday.
Yeah. That's what I said. It's interesting. I agree with you. It's hard for me to get, I think I'm more excited about the opportunity to maybe just have more time to go to adoration than I did at other conferences, because at other conferences I was like, networking, we're trying to make money for the podcast. We're not really trying to make money for the podcast at this event, like we're going to see our friends, we're going to podcast. But I also think it's like, I don't know, we don't have to stress as much about having those business related conversations other than, I've got a new job and I'll probably talk to some people about my new job that I have, but it's nice to have that pressure off my shoulders. Yeah. So then I can just go and like, if I want to go pray for 30 minutes, I can, which will be nice. I don't know. The evening session thing is hard for me because I've been in big room adoration so many times that I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I like small room adoration.
Yeah. I'm always done both. Like even when I was in high
Yeah.
school, I was man,
I just
my
don't like the
senior year.
singing.
Oh, you don't like
Just
the singing?
stop singing. No, just like let me. I don't want to sing modern praise song number 13. I want to be in silence with our Lord.
I kind
please.
of dig
And it's
it.
fine. The
I kind
singing's
of dig it.
fine. I'm
I
not like
do
a
like
trad
it. Yeah.
hater. Yeah, I get it. It's just never been a big. I've always preferred the quiet time.
Well, the thing that I've noticed over time with these like evening sessions, Saturday night
Mm-hmm.
Steubenville style thing, is that they've
Mm-hmm.
started. It used to never be this way. There was
Yeah.
never silence, but they're starting to work in. I've noticed a trend of like people having more and more silence in adoration, and like
Mm-hmm.
I think it's psychological.
Mm.
When I was doing meditative prayer with middle schoolers, I had instrumental music on the whole time because that little monkey part of their brain was like occupied while they were praying, you know? And so
Yes.
like with adults, I think it's like the meditative music that starts it off, kind of gets you in the zone, and then you're like, okay, I'm here, I'm in a different place, and the silence happens and you don't even notice that the music stopped. You're just like completely meditating, and it's very good, a very good way to do it.
I
People who have
noticed because I'm
never
like, finally.
For people who have never done silent prayer and adoration before, or who don't do it often, it is
Totally.
so
Totally.
important. But like
Yes.
you need to do regular silent meditative prayer. You need to do it on the reg. Like you gotta. But anyway, that's everyone knows that, or at least
Yes.
they should.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. We all should pray every day in silence and not do that.
Yes, I agree.
Like what I do, which is sometimes not do that.
Oh sure.
In fact, oftentimes not do that.
Oh man,
I don't know, man.
I've been on a kick. I've been
Just
on a
pray
5 a.m.
hard.
kick.
Pray hard. Pray hard. Early. Only time to pray is early. Sleep need. Up? No. Is problem.
It is.
That's where I'm at.
It is real though. The only like, you gotta pray in the morning. That's when it happens. There's
Mm-hmm.
you gotta pray in the morning.
What is it? In the morning when I rise, give me Jesus.
It is let my morning prayer rise to your like, or offer God your first fruits. That's from the Psalm.
Give me Jesus.
My brother Nick
Give
texted
me
me.
Jesus.
My brother Nick texted me earlier today,
Yeah.
and he said, "Table of Plenty is the boomer version of Oh Come to the Altar. Change my mind." And I was like, I don't have
Based.
to. I don't want to.
All right.
You're just right.
Based Nick.
Base Nick,
Yes.
Oh Come to the Altar is gonna be Table of Plenty in 30 years, and we're gonna be like, when was the last time I was talking to my friend who's a music director or does music for our church. He was the music director formerly. I was like, why do we still play that stuff? And he's like, dude, if we don't, people ask for it. If we don't play Table of Plenty, people are like, why haven't we sung Table of Plenty? Why haven't we sung On Eagle's Wings recently? It's like, I'm like that. Who is that? I don't know who that person is.
Yeah.
I haven't met them. But
Do you think back in the day they were like, be thou my vision is the new let all mortal flesh keep silent?
yeah, right.
Like,
Probably.
do you think they were doing that back in the day?
Maybe they were. I do like there are you can see it in the documents about liturgical music from like one of the Piuses. They're like, the organ is a profane instrument, and polyphony.
No, I don't think he said that.
Polyphony is awful. No, there's documents that are like,
I think that
or no,
the
piano,
one thing
piano.
that he piano's profane. Organ is the thing that's nice because it most closely replicates
the human voice.
Choir,
But
human voice. Yeah,
there was a point where the organ was considered a profane instrument. It wasn't recent enough.
it's profane. It's profane when they hit the wheezy too hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like turn down the air on that thing because sometimes it's just too much with the organ.
It's too much with the organ.
And the guy's up there going all Vladimir on his ass, and it's like we don't need a Transylvanian intro song. That's how it sounds sometimes.
I do love me some good organ. It's also just you also don't have to worry about having this whole freaking volunteer choir and volunteer band. It's just a more convenient thing for a parish to have a guy on payroll who can play the organ, and then he just shows up at everything, and you're like, this is good.
Yeah.
make some money from weddings. I don't know. Anyway, I'm excited about praying more. I realized how
Mm-hmm.
long we're gonna be there. Like I'm getting in
You'll be there for
Wednesday
a long
morning.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna be
don't get there
for a
till
minute.
Wednesday. I don't land in Indy until like Thursday at 12:30 or something.
Wow.
So I'm like, I'll be there probably 2:00 to whatever time on Saturday, but so I won't really be around too much Thursday. Friday, I don't know. It'll be weird because we got to record this podcast that we do in addition to the podcast that we're doing there.
Are we staying in the same room again?
No, we have different rooms.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
I don't want to touch you in bed anymore, man.
I don't want to cuddle up.
Usually they're like, "Oh, Ethan and Patrick, you guys can just be in the same room." And then Patrick snores so loud and he throws his arm over my chest and he's like, "Please come closer to me." As my wife comes in and brings me coffee. Hi, buddy.
Oh, do we have a Peter?
Do you want to say hi on the podcast?
Sighting?
We have a Peter appearance. We're at the end of the show, so you want to say hello?
Hi.
Okay, you want to go with Mama? No, you want to stay with Dada? You say bye-bye to Mr. Patrick. Say bye-bye.
Bye, Peter.
You just want to read the book. Okay, go with Mama. He said bye-bye, Patrick.
Aw, bye, Peter. Man.
Ryan, edit out my son's face. I don't want anyone online knowing what he looks like.
He looks like Ethan plus Emma. So
I would hope so. Yes. Anyway, I'm excited. It's gonna be really good. I'm nervous because every time we do a podcast live in person, I feel like I don't know what to say.
Our podcasts in person always hit.
Yeah, but this time there's only gonna be like 3 people in the crowd.
It's not true.
It is true.
We've drawn a crowd.
I'd rather be excited than disappointed.
We've drawn a crowd at a conference that was a quarter of this size.
I could draw a crowd. Just give me a pen, a piece of paper. I'll show you what I can do.
Also, the podcast stage is in the main convention hall.
Oh, it is?
I
thought we were in like a conference room off to the side.
I think it's in the oh, maybe it is. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares?
I wouldn't be surprised if they put us in like some small ballroom.
But it's a podcast stage. We're the last podcast of the week. Did you know that?
So we got to close it out. We should have them play Tarzan Boy by Baltimore as our walk-up song.
We're the last podcast of the week, which means that like people are gonna hear about the podcast stage and they're gonna see the sign, and everybody else's podcast will be like, "Oh, the Crunch is here. That's cool." Like I've heard of them from my mom.
Yeah.
My grandma, she listens, and so they're gonna see it and they're gonna come, and then we're gonna have a great time, and then we're gonna sell stickers. That's the plan.
It sounds suspiciously like a scheme to buy a boat.
No, it's not a scheme to buy a boat. It's a scheme to earn back the money that we spent on the hotel room for the extra night for me.
We can do that. That's easy. I'm going to make a vlog of you this week. I'm just going to record all of your most embarrassing moments, and I'm going to post it on our YouTube channel.
Ethan said the most flattering thing that's ever been said about me. He was like, "You go on these little side quests that no one else has ever gone on before." Yeah.
Because you always frame it as if like the world has done you some great injustice. And I'm like, Patrick, that's just because most people don't do that.
Yeah.
Like the most people have not made the mistake that you've made.
Yes.
For whatever reason.
It's fine.
And then you're like, you go to these conferences and you're like, oh, the freaking, like I thought it'd be easier to have the hotel clerk like bring my shoes to the shoe shiner and then deliver them up to the room, right? Because it's like a great deal. It's included with the room. But he lost my shoes. So like, I don't know what to do. Like we have to go find my shoes.
You're acting like the stories that I tell are these like, I'm like mad that someone has inconvenienced me. The stories that I tell are the hotel stories that I tell are like the full service hotel story where the bellhop insisted on taking all of my stuff down for me, and I was like, I don't want this, and then he was like, tip, and I was like, I didn't want you to do this, you insisted. It was that those are the stories, those are the little hijinks that I get into.
I tried to go get a coffee and I got stuck in a half marathon.
That was both of us. That was both of us.
That was both of us. All right, if you want to hear some advice from a guy who's chronically, miserable, and a guy who consistently goes on side quests that no one else goes on, go head over to Dr. Ethan's Dating Corner. It's our podcast we do every Wednesday. We also do a bonus show every week where we talk about some more behind the scenes things and some different, more exclusive content that we think is just for patroneers only. We also, we just love making podcasts. We want you to listen to them. You can access the Dating Corner show for free. It's every Wednesday. And the bonus show is $10 a month on Patreon. That's patreon.com/thecrunch. I would like to thank our sponsors for this month. Out of Suns, the great book by Alec Mawley. Exodus 90. Go to exodus90.com/thecrunch to see all the good stuff they've got going on there. And Patmos hosting services. Go to patmos.tech. And they will, I believe that's their email address, right? Patmos.tech.
Yes. Web address, yeah.
So check out Patmos. If that address is wrong, it's correct in the description. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors, and we'd like to thank you for coming to this episode of the Crunch Gather podcast. Patrick, do you have anything else for the people?
Come find me at the Eucharistic Revival if you want to buy a sticker.
Thank you all for listening. Please pray for us. We will be praying for you, and we'll see you all next time.